United 2, Leicester City 1. The stats say it, don't they? It was a pretty even contest overall. But in the end, it's United who take all 3 points. Now then, this is what Jose Mourinho had to say after the win. We played well in periods against a good team that invest more than us. We must get used to teams who have players of the same quality that we have. Every team is a good team. Forget the teams, forget the history, forget the shirts. It's quite a statement from Mourinho, and I suppose if you look at it just in black and white, he's got a point. Leicester City have indeed.
He's got a point. Leicester brought more players in
They spent more money than United.
When you're numerically bringing, double or more the amount of players in, you're going to spend more money. Let me tell you something. Not one of those players in that Leicester list, Man United would be in for to buy, right? And that's not because they're not decent players, but they're not deemed good enough to go and play at Manchester United and improve them. James Maddison comes in from Norwich and he's a very good player, had a good game. This is just more nonsense. Look, let's get to the game first. A win's a win, I understand that. Yep. But it was very much the same old from Man United. It was pretty boring. Great to see Luke Shaw. I think he's a good player, but great to see him playing with some confidence, getting forward, getting a goal and looking fit. This guy has been absolutely battered from pillar to post. Some of it may be of his doing, I'm not sure. What I do know is a lot of it is the manager's doing because he's publicly flogged him. This is a guy who has injury problems, and let's not forget, in Europe, in Holland, he had a really bad break of the leg. That's not easy for any player to come back from. So that was good to see. Pogba was pretty good, but can do more. But it was a laboured United performance, and I suppose that's what we're going to see for the rest of the season. They get a goal, they sit back, and they let Leicester dominate them, and then they get the second goal. I expect them to win the game. Kind of hope they would play a little bit more open, but maybe I'm just getting stupid in my old age.
What about this rhetoric, Shaq? The fact that basically all the teams now have got the same quality as Manchester United. Forget the name on the shirt, forget the badge.
I think it's ridiculous. It's, again, for me, a thinly veiled attack on Woodward that's continued all summer long. Now, let's keep in mind that Leicester lost arguably their best player to another Manchester club this summer, and they had to replenish. Let's also try to remember that these are 2 teams, one at home that finished second last season, the other finished 9th. The gap between Manchester United and Leicester is immense and should be. And as good as Leicester were on the day, Manchester United at home should make very easy work of this. And it's almost a curse that United get an early goal. Because they get an early goal and you know what to expect at that point, they sit back, they soak up pressure, some will interpret it as parking the bus. This is a total contrast to the United teams that I know, that I played against. You could not go to Old Trafford and in a month of Sundays hope to dominate possession. Maybe the result is the same, but this is a very different United than anybody's come to expect, hence Mourinho talking about let's forget about history. I'm not so sure that all United fans are buying let's forget about history.
Well, some of them are saying, well, a win's a win and that's it, and, the usual sort of scenario. But listen, at the end of the day, this Mourinho rhetoric it's been wearing thin for a long while.
It is.
But why has he got to start the season and this thinly, these attacks on Ed Woodward, right? It is what it is now, right? If he's going to fight Ed Woodward and the board, there's only going to be one winner, and it's not him. So I don't know why he keeps doing it. The other side of the coin is were Leicester trying to bring in Juventus' best player, Paul Pogba? No, they were not. Did Leicester go out and smash wage structures for Alexis Sanchez, Arsenal's best player? No, they didn't. Did Leicester go out and buy Everton's best player and the Belgium #1 striker? No, they didn't. The list goes on. The bottom line here is Leicester were organised. Leicester left out their best player for this game, by the way, which is another story, Jamie Vardy. And I'd like to hear the excuse from Claude Puel is if he's injured or not, because it certainly can't be down to playing at the World Cup because his backside was on the bench for the most of the World Cup. So why would you leave your best player on the bench at Old Trafford? That's another one Leicester fans may be asking. But as for Mourinho, we're going to be having the same discussion, Dan, and I don't think this is a big surprise. Most weeks, United are going to win most weeks. They're going to be in the top 4. I think they'll be around 3rd or 2nd place, but we're going to be having the same discussion. The football is turgid, and for the players they've got, it can be better.